He'll be held at third on an RBI single by Caleb Durbin. And the Brewers have a 4-0 lead in the fourth with still nobody out.
And they still weren't done. Bryce Terang would add a run with an infield hit on a poor throw from Thomas Ajacey up the middle, the play that Terang tends to make more often than not. Then, 2 batters later, Christian Yelich trying to really make this one a blowout.
Swing ground ball past the drawn-in infield right side, base hit, 2 will score. In from third comes Durbin. Terang follows him to the plate. No throw. It's a 2-run single for Christian Yelich, who's been on base all 3 times in the first 4 innings.
There's Josh Mauer one more time. And then just to put a bow on it, with the Brewers up 7-0, trying again for his 4th straight win, Jose Quintana ended his day in style.
Everything the Brewers could have asked for Jose Quintana to be. 1-2 pitch. And he got him looking. Jose Quintana threw 5 innings. His 6th strikeout of this game, all 6 looking here this afternoon.
And all 6 came on that same glove side sinker. He was fantastic today. We'll break down his start in just a little bit. The Brewers bullpen also got the job done behind him. Grant Anderson and Nick Mears and Jared Koenig keeping this a 7-1 ball game, but then wrap it up, pack it up, and get on a flight out to Chicago. Brewers get the win 7-1 to salvage the finale. Let's start breaking it down coming up next. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
April Brewers action rounds out with the matchup against the Tigers and Athletics. Catch the series opener April 14th as the first 10,000 fans get a Brewers t-shirt designed by Unfinished Legacy. Then get Brewers collectibles at back-to-back games against the Athletics. First up, Peanuts Night on April 18th, featuring a Franklin Bobble with special tickets. And don't miss a Brewers football jersey for the first 25,000 fans April 19th. Get set for an action-packed April at Brewers.com.
When you want the best medical attention, you don't just go to anybody, you go to a specialist. The same should be true with your car or truck. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. When your vehicle needs service, take it to a specialist, an Adam member new car dealer. Adam dealers use factory-warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians specially trained on the advanced technology on your vehicle. They have all the latest manufacturer service bulletins and will know if your issue is covered by an existing warranty or if there are any recalls. And despite what you might assume, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine maintenance and tires. Now, knowing all that, why would you even consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
For great paying job opportunities, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
CertaPro Painters, transform my house. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It's absolutely beautiful. The pros came out to our house, sat down with my wife Michelle and me, weren't sure what color we wanted. They were able to walk us through specific colors for our house and for our neighborhood. That's just how they roll. For your home or business, it's CertaPro. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Call right now and ask about their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. They are quite simply absolutely the best. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers win 7-1. All right. Everyone can take a breather. Are things perfect? No. But things are certainly better. Everything just tastes a little bit better. Dinner tonight will taste a little bit better. Your pillow tonight when you hit the bed will feel a little softer, right? Just get a win against the Cardinals. You couldn't afford a sweep in April. Brewers improved to 14-15 on the season. The Cardinals now fall to 12-16 on the year. The Brewers' run differential, by the way, is still in the positives. And you heard the stat from the end of the network postgame show from Josh Mauer. Still, on average, the Brewers are only allowing 1 run per win so far this season. In their 14 wins this season, they have averaged just 1 run allowed. And a lot of that has to do with Jose Quintana and how great he has been since joining the Brewers. We could have seen this coming from a mile away. The Brewers, Craig Kashan joins us now, knew that Jose Quintana was certainly capable of this sort of thing, But to have him deliver, to start off 4-0 with an ERA under 1.5, and even on a day like today, right, where he clearly didn't have his best stuff, didn't have his best command, is still able to shut down the St. Louis Cardinals to just 1 run over 5 innings with 6 strikeouts. I just continue to fall back on the word professional. He's a professional, and he knows how to get it done.
Yeah, and he's got such the confidence of the guys behind him, too. Rhys Hoskins was talking about that after the game, just trying to describe Jose Quintana in the best way he could, and he used that same word, and we've used it over and over and over again. But, I mean, the guy just shows up to work. He's always prepared. He's studied everything. He's been around the league for a long time. Nothing's going to ever bother him. Whatever sense of nerves he may have anywhere in his system, he knows how to use it in the right way. And, just watching him, even though he didn't have his best stuff today per se, I got great joy out of watching him with his 6 strikeouts. They were all looking. I mean, I don't remember the last time I saw that in a game from one pitcher. So I thought that was pretty cool. So continue to impress like that, and he's an entertainer and a professional, and dude knows how to pitch. There's no two ways about it.
And on that front, I want to give kudos to William Contreras to understand, let's make the adjustment. Maybe the changeup wasn't quite working like they had hoped earlier in the game. He didn't quite have the right command with even the slurve at times. And the Cardinals continue to watch the sinker, so let's keep calling it with 2 strikes, and that's how you end up with 6 looking strikeouts, because you zagged from the zigzag of the scouting report that clearly the Cardinals thought, oh, he's not going to throw me a heater with 2 strikes, and then boom, here it is, dotted on the outside corner seemingly every time. I want to make sure we give kudos on the man pushing the button behind the plate, but just as much for Quintana for executing all those looking strikeouts.
Yeah, they're instantly great battery mates together, and William has been around not nearly as long as Jose, but he knows how to do this pretty well too. We all know that, and it must be. You think about this, Dom, too. What do you think from a standpoint from William to have a guy like Jose join the staff here right now, and a lot of the work that Jose did to get ready for the season was after the season began, so he didn't do a ton of it with Williams. So that kind of speaks volumes for those two guys.
Yeah, I agree. I think this could also be a great influence on William to understand, hey, when you get a guy, a soft tosser like me, and the Brewers do have a handful of those guys, not just everybody throwing 95, 97 miles an hour, but having the ability to trust your defense and understand what's calling, reading swings, reading an uncomfortable at-bat in the batter's box. Because for Quintana, I mean, there were a lot of full counts today, and we've talked about this in every start he's had so far, Craig, but he's had full counts, he's walked guys, but yet it just never feels out of control. It never feels spiraling. And now that happens over the course of a 13-year career, but you hope that these guys in the dugout are watching these young arms like, man, there's a feel to when Quintana's pitching. It's not quantitative. It is very much a gut reaction. Man, he's got the 2 on, 1 out. Psh, here comes a ground ball. Oh, psh, bases loaded, 2 outs. Here comes a heater with 2 strikes. Right? That's the kind of guy he is, and you hope the other young pitchers in this organization are taking note.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, that you bring that up, because just glancing just at this game alone, I think is a good example, though, of just how he goes about his business during the game. He doesn't give up a lot of his stuff with 2 outs, and I think that's kind of a key for him. He did in the second inning. He had a couple of strikeouts and a base hit, but really outside of that, if he's given up a walk or the occasional base hit, he's able to work through that pretty well. And that's also kind of goes back to all those double plays that we've seen with him on the mound too. We didn't see that, at least with him on the mound here. They turned 1, but that was in the 9th inning. But it just goes to show, he's on the attack, and he wants to get guys out, and he's not going to give free passes and extend innings very often. So that's just another sign of how much he understands what that means to a pitcher. And if you're going to be pitching for as long as he has too, it's even more important.
And then what's lastly most important in all of this, with the way things are shaping up right now, he's going to pitch against the Cubs. And that's how the rotation looks. Right now, the rotation looks to have Quintana, if they want to have him go on normal rest, he would go on Friday and maybe push Priester to Saturday, or even they do a little switcheroo, whatever they want to do with Quinn Priester. But let's say they have Quinn Priester start on Friday as his turn in the order, even though he gets an extra day because of the off day tomorrow. It could be Priester, Quintana, Peralta, or they can go Quintana, Priester, Peralta in that regard too, because Freddie's got the ball on Tuesday, and I want to say it pretty simply that Jose Quintana is right up there with Freddie Peralta as the most important pitcher on this team right now.
Yeah, and it's they're going kind of back to back up until this point anyway, so it's a great 1-2 punch. It just really is, and he's got the ability to, like you're saying, Dom. If he needs that extra day, he'll take it. If not, he's ready to get going in there too. So really, really something what we've seen so far. 4-0. I mean, that ERA is just over 1. His value is just off the charts right now. There's just no question about it.
And in case you were wondering, if you're thinking, I don't want Quinn Priester to start against the Cubs, that sort of thing. Let's call up Logan Henderson again. Well, Logan has to spend a minimum 15 days in the minor leagues unless he's replacing an injury in the big leagues. That's the way that the option works with him going down. So that won't be during that Cubs series, but it will be Freddie and Quintana starting against the Cubs as of now, TBD for maybe one of those games, but really excited about having two of those arms getting ready to go against them. We got to talk a little offense, of course. The Brewers scored 7 runs today. That's coming up next. A couple of texts here as well. This one from Doug. When Quintana pitches, I mark down a win before the game starts. He's a winner. When he pitches, good things happen, and it did it again today. Brian and Tosa, good win today. Now a chance to salvage the road trip if we can sweep the White Sox. Where would the Brewers be without Quintana? Take a breather. Come back with more after this on 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins 2-foot party subs are back. Choose from the ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99. Feeds 5 to 8 people and requires 24-hour notice to order. And now you can complete your party by adding a party chip bag and a dozen chocolate chip cookies for just $4.99. Order today in store, online, or on the app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for CertaPro Painters for your home or your business. They came out, did the exterior of our house. The team walked around the entire house with me, pointed out a couple spots that I needed some extra work done. I didn't even realize it. The team's at CertaPro. They've got your back. Call and ask about their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. It's CertaPro Painters, the best in the business. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. It's CertaPro Painters. Took care of me, they'll take care of you. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like select bags of Timberline mulch, now 5 for $10. Save $30 on a 22-inch Yard Force push mower, and 20-pound bags of estate grass seed, $10 off. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all.
Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
Is brought to you in part by Fifth Third Bank. Hey, Milwaukee, you're looking for somebody to help your commercial banking needs. Look no further than Fifth Third Bank. They've been serving members in the community just like you for 15 years, offering industry-specific expertise and local decision-making to help your business thrive. This is commercial banking value that only Fifth Third can deliver. Experience the unique commercial banking from Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. Offense, 7 runs, and a lot of it are early in this contest. Then they coasted the rest of the way. They had a great game plan against Eric Fetty. And, what's most important about this, Craig Kashan, as I'm Dom Cotroneo, Craig, the score 3 runs in the first inning with just quality baseball, right? It was just walk, base hit, hit them where they ain't, Brewers baseball, bat on ball, only one whiff the entire inning. It's like when you're getting to a guy who has such a big ERA in the first inning, you tell yourself, okay, let's get off to a good start today. But to actually execute it and do it with a game plan that feels very reasonable, right? It's not like needed to get doubles and hit a home run and everyone had 2 strikes. No, it's just quality at-bats, put the bat on the ball, knew what they were going to get, and didn't try to do too much, and boom, they're up 3-0.
Yeah, the approach was absolutely perfect. It just was, especially against Fetty. He walks a lot of guys. I think he had 14 walks coming into this start, and 2 of the first 3 batters walked in this game, and they both scored. And then that was followed by 3 consecutive singles, all for RBIs. And you just can't beat that. I mean, that's all you need in the first inning because you're wearing this guy out. You're making him pitch. You're doing everything to get on base. And it was right now what this team needs. And I think part of this in the first inning too, Fetty was a good guy to go after. Let's face that. But I think part of this too is a little bit of a continuation from yesterday's game. As much of a downer as it is to lose a walk-off like that. And I mean, the Brewers were down 5-0 yesterday and chipped away and finally tied it up in the 9th inning. So, they've scored some runs here in the second half of yesterday's game and then right out of the gates in the first inning here today. So, I'm just hoping that with the approach that we saw and it continued as the game went, they scored 4 more in the 4th inning. No home runs today. So give them a lot of credit. They were ready to go.
When I see everybody in the lineup also get a hit, that's a great sign, too. I do want to point out what Rhys Hoskins has been doing. We continue to talk about him over and over. Only 1 strikeout today, too, and he goes 1 for 4 with an RBI single the other way on a 2-strike pitch. Rhys, I mean, I know he's here to be a slugger, and I know he's here to hit home runs. But in the interim, I mean, if you're going to hit 30 home runs across a season, let's say you hit 1 home run in all of those 30 that you hit, that's still 132 games you need to be productive in. And the way that Hoskins is being productive right now, a .296 batting average in his first 96 plate appearances, to go with an .828 OPS, yes, he would like to have more than 3 homers in the first month of the season, given, that only adds up to maybe about a 20-homer season for him. That will get going. But he has 12 walks, only 18 strikeouts in these first 100 plate appearances. The fact that he's way below 20% for his strikeout rate is a great sign right now for Rhys to continue to start mashing baseballs moving forward.
The only thing I wanted him to do or wanted from him this season was to up his batting average, and I knew that would lead to more runs. I mean, it was, I can't remember what it was last year, 220, maybe 230. I'm not even sure it was that high, but
214.
214. So there you go. And he came in today at 299. I know it's early and stuff, but he was also off to a slow start. So he needs to gain the consistency, and I think he's definitely on that track. And then the power will come. I certainly believe that as well. I don't know if he's going to hit 30 home runs at this stage of his career this year. If he comes close, that would be great. But if he's going to, bat in that mid 240, 250, 260 range, he's going to bring in runs. And that's what this team needs here right now. This offense is built to do what we saw today, probably first and foremost. And if he's part of that is just beautiful stuff.
And he'll start popping them again once things get warmer, once things get a little more comfortable, and you get more data under your belt. Now we got to talk about Jackson, because 4 hits yesterday and a losing effort, obviously, with the walk-off homer by Arenado. But today, 2 more hits. He's now got 10 multi-hit games already this season. That is tied among a big group around 8, 9 in baseball. But granted, the MLB lead is 12. So he's only a couple away from Fernando Tatis Jr. and Paul Goldschmidt. Reminder, he's still the youngest player in the big leagues as of now at 21 years young. He continues to show what he's able to do. He had a couple of hits today, a couple of them with 2 strikes too. And Chourio, man, after that off day, we talked about it yesterday, that off day, it seems to have done him some wonders. I know he wants to play every day, but, meet the game halfway and good things are happening for Chourio.
Absolutely. And you also love the fact, Dom, that he just uses all fields. I mean, he can put the ball wherever he wants to. He had a double to left on his first hit of the game, and his second hit was a single to right. I mean, and we know where the home run went yesterday. That was, I mean, he's hit some massive home runs already here in the month of April. Arizona, St. Louis, I know at home as well. And then you look at his extra base hits. That double he had today made 18 for him. Extra base hits, that's second in baseball right now. So, you can't beat that out of this guy. I love the fact that, he started a little slow in today's game. He had it grounded into a double play and struck out, but, he finished strong. He finished strong in yesterday's game. You just love to see the production from this guy. I just, I said it yesterday. I just real feel that, he's so entertaining to watch, but he's just growing right in front of our eyes. And to me, that's still one of the coolest things to see. He's just a special player. Players don't grow in front of your eyes like this guy does. That's for sure.
Especially in the fact that you mentioned the extra base hits, but that a 21-year-old is leading the Brewers in home runs and extra base hits in virtually every offensive category. I mean, 11 doubles and 6 homers. Nobody else has more than 4 doubles on this team. He's got 11 doubles. Yeah. This isn't normal.
It is. No, it's not normal, but it's dang nice to see in a Brewer uniform. That's for sure. But it isn't normal. And we've talked about this a few times. Who do you compare him to, especially on this team? And, to me, it's still going to be Ryan Braun, but Ryan Braun was doing this stuff, 3 or 4 years from Jackson Churio's age. And so to do this at 21 instead of 24 or 25 is absolutely outstanding. And, the whole pickup of him and extending him last year, everything about him being on this team right now has been brilliant. I will say that.
I also want to point out one other guy that you pointed out to me today while we were watching the game, that Christian Yelich, now with 2 more RBIs today with the drawn-in infield with the base hit through the right side, very quietly, I know it hasn't been the start that Yelich wanted coming back from back surgery as far as doing damage to the baseball. He still got 5 homers, but he's got 23 runs batted in, and it feels so quiet that he's over 20 runs batted in right now, and it's not the sexiest stat in the world to be among league leaders in. That also gives kudos to Bryce Terang and Jackson Chourio consistently getting aboard for him, but it's also understanding that Yelly is being a guy that is taking team at-bats and being able to put the ball. He's in the top 10 in Major League Baseball in runs batted in when he hasn't quite got going offensively yet. I think that's fair to say for Yelly, and he would agree with that statement.
Yeah, just over, 3 weeks of action if you go back to April 5th. He's got 20 of those 23 RBIs, and that's the most in baseball, considering if you just say April 5th is basically you're into the second week of the season. That's pretty outstanding stuff, and not a lot of home runs yet for him. There's 5. I think he's paced himself nicely, but I mean, he's at the point right now, Dom, where he is just completely figured out. If there are guys on ahead of him, he's going to figure out a way to bring him home. And it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, he doesn't strike out a lot with guys on. And, today, a couple of more hits for him. He was on base 3 times, 2 RBIs. I mean, he's done a great job. And I think right now he's at a moderate level of what we're going to see before too long when he hits his prime here this season. I really believe that.
Yeah, and then a real quick tip of the cap to 2 guys, Caleb Durbin and Isaac Collins, 2 of Pat Murphy's favorites, if you will. Durbin for getting benched yesterday and coming right back off the mat and getting on base a couple of times, and an RBI single for him. And then Isaac Collins getting a start today. He's been hitting the ball hard very quietly, another hit for him. As a switch hitter, the Brewers kind of put him in the cooler batting from the left side, but now, I mean, shoot, I kind of want to see a little bit more of Isaac Collins right now.
Yeah, and I think he's going to get more time. I mean, the Mitchell injury is big. I mean, they're not going to see Blake Perkins for quite a while here now. So Isaac's going to get his opportunities. There's no question about that. I'm not sure. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, kind of wondering, if they'd use Yelich a little bit more in the outfield or kind of stick with this DH plan and occasionally put him out there, considering the post-back surgery and whatnot. He's not a full year in on that. So I think if Isaac Collins can produce very similarly to the limited time that he's had now, that's going to be a big bonus for this team and something that they need right now. They need guys who, have played here, want to be here, and are going to be productive when given a chance. And I feel like he's definitely in that category.
I agree. All right, well, you're on triple duty today here, Craig Kashan. You've already done your television duties. Now you've done your radio duties. You're going to go back on TV for the Bucks tonight. Appreciate you as always, my friend, and hopefully you can level up this series down there at Fiserv Forum.
Let's get her done, Dom. I'll talk to you on Tuesday.
All right, Craig Kashan here on 620 WTMJ. I got a few texts I'm behind on, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620, right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ. Want to stay up to date with the crew?
Caleb Durbin beats it out. It's an infield single in his first major league at bat.
Tune in to Brewers Extra Innings with Dominic Cotroneo after every game.
Maybe Caleb Durbin's the guy that is that spark plug. I love that comp, that David Eckstein comp. I mean, quite frankly, he could bench press David Eckstein. Got that upper body build. He swings hard, pulls the ball.
Or listen anytime on the Brewers All Access podcast feed. We are your home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they do it every day with compassion and with empathy. They've got locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I've been to the locations. I love how they treat the people who live there. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They offer early memory loss classes. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. Kindness at the core. It's Azura Living. Check them out at AzuraLiving.com. It's Azura.
Shop Beauty Rest Black mattresses at Steinhafels. Right now, the new Beauty Rest Black is only $42 per month when you use Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, get up to $300 in Steinhafels cash. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers get the win, 7-1 over the Cardinals. Moving on to an off day tomorrow. White Sox are next on the south side. 6:40 first pitch on both Tuesday and Wednesday. And then it'll be a 1:10 first pitch on Thursday. Then they come back home Friday night against the Cubbies. That'll be at 7:10. Saturday at 6:10. And Sunday at 1:10. It's a 6-game homestand because then the Astros follow up right after that. The Houston Astros at 6:40 on Monday and Tuesday. And then at 12:10 on Wednesday before another off day. And then the Brewers hit the road to head down to Tampa to take on the Rays at George M. Steinbrenner Field. I'm Dom Cotroneo, 855-616-1620. Text here from Jenny from Vernon. Not the way we wanted to start the season, but the crystal ball on how we fare against the Cubs in the rest of the first half. Appreciate the compliment about yesterday's show with Pat Murphy. Well, let's go ahead and look ahead here. You cannot look past these White Sox. Here's what I'm calling. I'm calling this the BYOJ series. Bring your own juice, meaning there's going to be nobody at the ballpark. It's the White Sox. It's a Monday. It's still not quite warm yet. You don't have that lunch hour special going on. I should say it's a Tuesday, of course, off day tomorrow. But the point is, a midweek series against the Cubs. You're going to have to create your own energy. You're going to have to bring your own juice. You're going to have to be that team that you're supposed to against these White Sox. And it sounds blunt to say, but it's the truth. This needs to be a sweep. Winning a series is fine, but if you want to prove to yourself that you can compete with the Cubs, that you are good enough to take a series this weekend at home against Chicago, prove it against the White Sox first. Sweep these guys. Last year, you had 3 one-run games, some tight contests against the White Sox at home. Remember, you had the Tommy Pham collision at the plate with Yelly's throw in, and I do shadow boxing, and I'm ready to bleep a guy up. What? And then you had an extra innings walk-off by Willie Adames, and then you had the blowout late in the game 1 where that game was tied for 7 innings of the contest until they got going. So prove it against these White Sox before you can even start thinking about the Cubs. Now, beyond the Cubs, the Astros offense is an enigma right now. They broke a 26-inning scoreless drought today, but the White Sox, or the Astros, can pitch it. Their hitting has been a little bit suspect at the start of the year. It seems like George Steinbrenner Field down in Tampa has been a bandbox. Not only does it have Yankees dimensions, but the wind seems to be blowing out there in Florida. Keeping an eye on that. And then you go to Cleveland. And Cleveland's also been an enigma because there are days that their offense looks unstoppable. Kyle Manzardo, Jose Ramirez, and the likes of them. But their bullpen suddenly looks human. And their starting rotation is dealing with injuries right now, too. So we're not going to get too far ahead. But first and foremost, take care of Chicago. Take care of the White Sox. See what you can do against the Cubs. Can you prove to yourself to be competitive? A sweep would be the worst-case scenario, obviously, if the Brewers get swept by the Cubs. But they've got Freddie, they've got Quintana lined up in that series. That's 2 guys that you're very excited about. Prove that you can take 3 for 3 against the White Sox. Prove that you're competitive in 3, ideally taking the series from the Cubs to send a message across the bow, and then say, all right, Astros, coming to our house, knock it down, and get things moving in the right direction. But bring your own juice. Bring your own juice this week down at Rate Field is what it's called now. Just rate, not guaranteed rate. All right. Do your thing, White Sox. It's all good. Now, I've seen all the questions of why did the Brewers let Shane Smith walk in the Rule 5 draft. My answer to that is everybody's human. I still can't believe they let him walk. He's been off to a great start in his big league career. There were injury concerns. Remember, he was a non-drafted free agent. The Brewers didn't have much of an investment in him, but they felt keeping Tyler J on the 40-man roster at the time was more important, and then ultimately the DFA Tyler J. So you hang with them. Nobody is perfect. The Brewers had a rare miss with pitching development there, but again, we're a month into his big league career. A lot can change between now and the end of the season. They will see him on Wednesday in Game 2 of that series. I want to tip my cap to some prospects, talk a little bit on the farm. We don't normally do that on this program. Some news down there on the farm to tell you about coming up next here on 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, we're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
You'll find that the licensed and certified electricians from Quality are top-notch. We've been around for over 60 years, so expect nothing but the best. And here's the kicker. With over 60 vehicles out there on the roads, you're not going to have to wait very long at all for the electrical service you need now. This is Anthony Zanevsky. For all your residential electrical needs, call Quality.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. At Quality, we offer the most respected brand names in heating and air conditioning. Armstrong and Carrier. It doesn't get any better. And our technicians are top-notch. I know, because I handpicked every one of them. They're vetted and thoroughly trained. Hey, they're the cream of the crop. And that's why our quality workmanship guarantee is the strongest in the business.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Spring is in the air, the perfect time to kickstart those home improvement dreams. Hi, Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. They're your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient upgrades. Boost your curb appeal and add real value with top brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. All customized to fit your home and your style. Wood, vinyl, or fiberglass, they've got it all. And their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom is the place to start. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers win 7-1 over the Cardinals. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you in part by Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Spring's here. Warmer weather's on the way. Is your AC ready to keep you cool? Right now at Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical, you can get $25 off an AC tune-up. But hurry, this deal is only good through the end of April. So this week, visit cider.com to schedule your appointment today. SEIDER.com. You may have seen some alarming news from Biloxi in AA for the Brewers. That star shortstop prospect Cooper Pratt was hit by a pitch on his hand. The good news is X-rays were negative, so he did not play in today's game. I imagine he'll have a day or two off now. Mondays are league-wide off days in minor league baseball now, so he's not in there today. They lost today to Montgomery, the Biscuits, 6-3. But there's another guy on that roster I want to point out. And, of course, I gave him praise in the pregame show today over on Brewers Warm-Up. Brock Wilken. Today he goes 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, but nonetheless, his on-base percentage has been through the roof. He has drawn 24 walks to go with 27 strikeouts. He changed his stance during spring training. He, remember, was hit by a pitch in the face last season, really sent his season down a spiral, was never really able to recover, was in the Arizona Fall League Home Run Derby, continued to produce, but now, he's got a 782 OPS in AA, former first-round pick out of Wake Forest by the Brewers 2 years ago. He was not invited as a non-roster invitee to spring training this year, perhaps giving him a chance to get right, take his time, get healthy, and move things forward. Granted, 179 batting average is glaring. That needs to improve a little bit, but still his on-base still sits over 400, so keep an eye on him. And then also in AAA, Jacob Mizorowski. Hello. Listen to this starting pitching line today for Jacob Mizorowski. 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, wait for it, no walks, 9 strikeouts. He threw 67 pitches, 48 of them were strikes. He only had 1 3-ball count on the day. As Durham came back to win at the top of the 9th inning, they win 4-1, beating up at the very end of the bullpen for the Nashville Sounds. But by the way, Jacob Mizorowski, keeping an eye on him, he's not on the 40-man roster. Keep that in mind for him as you think about call-ups and that sort of thing. He has now appeared in 6 games, 5 of them starts. One of them was the tandem effort. 29 2/3 innings, 38 strikeouts, 13 walks. However, he got beat up against the Charlotte Knights on the 16th. He has made an adjustment since then. In his last 2 starts, he has gone a total of 11 innings, just 4 hits, 1 walk, and 17 strikeouts in those last 11 innings. Now, it's a small sample, and he also faced the Durham Bulls in back-to-back starts. We'll monitor him. There is no rush with Jacob Mizorowski, but to see him pitching well is certainly encouraging, given the way that things ended for him in spring training, of just sort of the disappointment to have to be among the cuts to go to spring training and not really be a serious candidate for that 5th starter spot. You never know when you're going to need an arm. And Jacob Mizorowski is on speed dial for the Brewers. When is it going to happen is a matter of if, not when. Because if the command keeps going, it's going to be a when. It's going to be, all right, let's bring this guy. He's ready to go. I imagine the Brewers want to keep him as a starter as long as possible, and so far he has been rewarding them to this point in the year. I mean, he's only had 1 appearance in which he's allowed multiple runs. It was those 5 runs against the Charlotte Knights back on April 16th. Otherwise, here's how it reads. 5 innings, 0 runs. 3 2/3 in a tandem, 0 runs. 5 innings, 1 run. 5 innings, 5 runs. 6-0-5-0. I like it. Keeping an eye on that. We're only a month into the season, Plenty of time to keep things in the right direction. Up next, we're going to hear from the manager, Pat Murphy. He's got a long one today. Murph was in a good mood after a 7-1 win over the Cardinals right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
Brewers baseball is here. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Don't miss any of the big games or the superstars. And come back for the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's every game, all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars? Each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers win 7-1. Wasn't a homer, wasn't even a dazzling defense play. I mean, the last 5 innings of this game was kind of a snooze, if we're being honest. But nonetheless, the Brewers having a hit from every single guy in the lineup is so huge, and we'll just go ahead and call that our Surfside play of the game. A proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers, Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka paired perfectly with the day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Brewers win 7-1 elsewhere here in the Central Division. The Reds complete the sweep of the Rockies. They defeat them 8-1. The Rockies are 4-23. 4-23. Yikes. Worst record in Major League Baseball. The A's and the White Sox are headed to the bottom of the ninth, all tied at 1. The White Sox are 7-20. A's are trying for their first walk-off win in Sacramento. Elsewhere in the division, Cubs and Phillies will play Sunday Night Baseball from Wrigley later tonight. Also today, we saw the Pirates in action right now against the Dodgers. It's 9-2 Dodgers now, but Tyler Glasnow had to exit that game for the Dodgers with shoulder discomfort. Second straight start he's had to leave injured. Yikes. As they continue to deal with injuries, Snell's hurt, Glasnow's hurt, Roki hasn't been quite himself, Shohei's not going to be pitching until July. We try to tell you guys every year, the Dodgers rotation just takes a beating. Don't know why it keeps happening this way. Anyway, let's talk about this game at hand, and let's hear from the guy in charge of it all. Pat Murphy, after giving some love and discipline yesterday, enjoying a win and a happy flight today. Here's Murphy.
Yeah, he's been a godsend. You know, he didn't have his great stuff today. The zone was a little tighter today, and he didn't expand. He did expand, but he wasn't getting the call, so he was behind on the count a lot. But he was around the zone all day, and in typical fashion, he just stayed relentless and stayed after it. And he continued to make big pitch after big pitch. And, him and William did a great job together.
Maybe in the fourth inning, if it wasn't Quintana or Freddie or something like that, maybe you'd be tempted to go to the bullpen. He's struggling a little bit at that point, or was it the fifth I'm talking about? And then you kind of let him work through it.
Yeah. Well, he's a veteran. You know, we don't have a lot of veterans. If it's a guy that's the first time in the big leagues, Chad Patrick or Priester, who's just dabbled a little bit, One of our other young guys, that's different, but when you've had the career that he's had, you can look past it if he's not out of pitches and he's still he's still close. So yeah, that goes into play, but he was almost at 105 innings. So yeah, credit to Cardinals. They played good. They played good all weekend. They swung the bat good. They played great defense. Yeah, credit them.
Is that before the game? You said he's a pitcher. I mean, on a day like this where he may not have his best stuff, so it may not be exactly what he wants.
The guy's been doing it. He's been doing it. You look up and you're like, God, we just can't get a lot on him. He makes big pitches, and he's been quite good. He's been quite good for us. And the bullpen, Anderson and Mears and Koenig, they were great. So really important that they came through, and Mears and Anderson pitching multiple innings, very important. But our offense got it going in the first inning and set a tone right from the first pitch. And Turang taking that walk, and then the number of hits in the first inning were great, and clutch hits, and that's what made it a nice day to get a lead and then add on again in whatever inning that was. Just some, Isaac Collins, Moon. That's his nickname. Moon.
Why?
No, we're not going wise. We don't talk about wise. Moon.
Offline.
Yeah. Moon was he's had some great at bats. He's really losing Mitchell's a big blow. Obviously, he's one of the best outfielders and best center fielders in baseball. And then to get a kid like Collins to step up and Churio to move over. It was great. So guys stepped up today and showed some intensity, and they're exhausted. This has been a long trip, and we still got more to go. So our second West Coast trip, and then get back and have 6 more games. And Cardinals know us well, and they look like they're a hungry ball club that is playing good. So at least they have these 3 days.
Reese talked about being aggressive against Fetty, especially early, that you can get to him. What did you like about that first inning approach?
Well, Fetty showed you, but we were aggressive. We knew what we were looking for. We were convicted, and we hit some line drives, and we didn't roll over. We didn't hit pull side ground balls. We hit line drives. We went the opposite way. We didn't try to do too much. That's who we have to be. The threat of the steal brings about different pitches and pitchers hurrying a little bit. So it was a really good ball game in that regard. We executed. Joy Ortiz came up with a huge hit. We executed when we needed to, and that's the type of offense we have to be. We have to pile up the runs throughout the game.
And Ortiz in the bottom of the first, I believe it was, that diving play saves possibly a run. It could have changed the complexion of the game.
He made 2 or 3 nice ones today. He was good today, and it did. And he made some plays in the shallow outfield. He made that diving play. Changed the complexion how that first inning went. That was a key point in the game too. That's a good point. Another key of the game was our replays, guys. Abdel and Augie. That's not an easy one. That gets overlooked. They looked at it and saw that he might not have touched the base, and that's pretty special. And it's big of New York to not let that stand, to see clearly he did not touch the base. And yeah,
3 for 3 on the year now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I know we haven't done it very much, but Augie and Abdel, that's a game changer right there. So of those great plays, the Ortiz play and the Augie and the replay booth with Abdel, make sure they get print. Augie, August Sandry, and Abdel. Yeb is the last name?
Yeah, Y-E-B.
Y-E-B.
But one of the common themes the last couple of days was we're just one big hit away, one big play away. It almost seemed like once you got that big, couple big hits in the first inning, it just kind of snowballed. Is that how it felt?
Yeah, no, I mean it was still a hectic game because our bullpen's been challenged lately, and we've given up leads in San Francisco. We've lost some tight games, and we wanted to keep it from being tight, and that's just what we did. The other side was mad that we bunted in the 6th inning with Sal, or 7th inning, whatever it was, with Sal. But That's the game, man. That's how we have to play, left on left. We're not just going to, lay our bats down. You know what I mean? It's not conventional, but, we have to do that. So if they want to be mad, they can be mad.
You know what? The Cardinals are always mad about something the Brewers doing successful, so let them have it. Let them eat cake. I don't care. They won the series. Whatever. This is why nobody... I'm not even going to say it. Like, come on. What are we doing? What are you mad about? You're 12-16. Worry about your team being down 7-1. I like that response from Murph. Come on! NL Central rivalries up in here. All right, well, get ready to say goodbye. Preview what the upcoming week of programming looks like. We'll also get ready to get out of the way here for Bucks coming up. Late night tip, man. Go get yourself another cup of coffee right now, as the Bucks don't even tip off till 8:30, and it could be slid to 8:45. My goodness. We're just okay with this? Really? Anyway, say goodbye after this. Brewers win 7-1 on 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings. The very front of the Brewers front office is on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I think it's something sort of our brand of baseball. We're going to play you tough and play hard night in and night out, and we're here and we're going to fight you all 9 innings.
Brewers GM and Senior Vice President Matt Arnold is our Brewers 360 guest every Thursday morning at 8:45.
How soon do I start asking you about trades and stuff, Matt?
My phone's always on, so no.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they do it every day with compassion and with empathy. They've got locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I've been to the locations. I love how they treat the people who live there. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They offer early memory loss classes. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. Kindness at the core. It's Azura Living. Check them out at azuraliving.com. It's Azura.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kessler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad,
"I'm Richard Kessler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kessler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world.
Final few minutes here of the show. I'm Dom Cotroneo. You can follow on social at Dom_COTRONEO. Instagram, I'm kind of sporadic on Instagram, but Dom C Baseball. That is the @ handle there. Now, off day tomorrow. Enjoy it. Do nothing. That's what I'm going to do. White Sox this week. I won't be there in person. I'm just going to hang up here as we get ready for the Cubs in the homestand on the way here. But White Sox Tuesday night, again, a 6:40 first pitch. We're on the air at 6:05 with the Brewers warm-up show, or the on-deck show. Same time, same place Wednesday. We will have post-game shows after both of those contests. Now, Thursday, we do not have a post-game show with coverage being starting at 12:35, but we will have Brewers Weekly that night. Don't want to spoil the guest yet, just in case something changes, but we do have a guest scheduled for that one for Thursday night. That will be at 8 o'clock here on WTMJ. But keep in mind that Tuesday with the Bucks, since we know there will be a Game 5 in Indiana, That will preempt us over to ESPN Milwaukee, at least to start the game. I can't imagine that game and the broadcast being done by the time the Brewers are done. So we'll see, but most likely at least start the game on ESPN Milwaukee and likely finish it over there on Tuesday, 94.5. Then if there's a Game 6 here in Milwaukee, it would be Friday night, and, of course, coinciding with Brewers-Cubs. And the reason I bring that up now is to make your plans, because Friday is also the first Apple TV Plus game of the year. So if you're one of the folks that you sync up your television to listen to the radio call, well, not going to be on FanDuel Sportsnet on Friday. It'll be on Apple. If you don't have Apple, you're going to flip over to WTMJ, and then you're like, wait, why am I listening to the Bucks? We're on ESPN Milwaukee if there's a Game 6 on Friday. Again, that's only if the Bucks win tonight, we're guaranteed to have a Game 6. If the Bucks lose tonight but then win on Tuesday, of course, then we have a Game 6. And then, in case you were wondering, they have not scheduled, if necessary, a Game 7. I believe I saw the schedule suggested that could be Sunday, a week from today, to wrap up this series if it goes 7. But hey, Bucks in 6, right? So that's your upcoming schedule. Again, post-game show on Tuesday, likely on ESPN Milwaukee. Wednesday will be on WTMJ. Thursday, we've got Brewers Weekly that night. No post-game show. Friday will likely, if there's a Game 6, be on ESPN Milwaukee. Saturday on WTMJ. Sunday on WTMJ, unless there's a Game 7. But that's a day game, so we should be fine. Anyway, it's a little chaotic this week. That's why we tell you to follow us on social. You can follow the WTMJ official handle at 620 WTMJ. Go to the website, WTMJ.com. You can find all the information you need there. Also, you can stick around here on WTMJ to have Bucks Talk later tonight. You can hear the game. Dave Kane, Justin Garcia, they do great work here on the radio side. And enjoy the contest as chance to level the series for the Bucks and the Pacers tonight. How about Dame the other day showing up some defense? How about that? Are you starting to believe a little bit, Bucks fans? Are you feeling it? Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? Anyway, the Brewers are getting ready to enjoy this off day, maybe sleep in their own beds tonight. Quick little trip up here from St. Louis. This is of 3 city trips. I tell you what, this was one of the easier ones. Right? Yes, you went west, but you got to spend 4 days west. You got to let your body acclimate. You got to enjoy San Francisco. Got to feel like you got to unpack a little bit, right? No big deal with that. Then a halfway home flight, with St. Louis. No big deal on that one. And then a quick one home. And tonight, I imagine a lot of guys will take that bus to sleep in their own beds tonight. So enjoy your off day tomorrow. I certainly will. And keep an eye out for these storms that are on the way, too. Hopefully you get your morning round in Monday morning if you want to take a little, back nine breakfast special at your local club of choice as things finally start to warm up, hopefully, this week. I will talk to you again on Tuesday night, whether it is here on WTMJ or on ESPN Milwaukee. It doesn't matter. You can find it in podcast form. Brewers All Access, wherever you get your podcasts. Our producer has been Evan Wood-Tallison. My thanks to him. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Brewers win 7-1, and until next time, keep on swinging.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank. National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals